Hello, beloved, and thank you for joining Antoinette Marie Speaks. On today's show, we're going to be speaking about the power of love. So journey with me and a few of my special guests as we walk you through the power of love. Welcome home, beloved.
Well, hello, good evening to each and every one of you. I'm so glad you came to be with me on today. This is Antoinette Marie Speaks, and we are discussing on tonight, you know what we're discussing? The power of love. I'm so excited that you have decided to join me. Come on up in the room on today. Put your comments down at the bottom and let's have a conversation. And so before we get into it, how was your day? Did you accomplish every single thing that you wanted to accomplish this week? I hope you did. I hope you did. And so as you come on, get your pen, get your notepad, get a piece of paper, because you're going to have an opportunity today to take great notes. And we're just relaxing today as we talk about the power of love. Have you ever been in love? I know we use that expression. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight. Have you ever seen, witnessed real, true love? We may talk about that again on today as well. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that have decided to take out part of your day, part of your week. I know you could be doing absolutely anything. It's Friday. Hey, did y'all get y'all fish fry? You know, a lot of people do fish fry on Fridays. I haven't got mine yet, so I probably will get one after this. So come on up in the room on today. I'm going to give you a couple of more minutes. And while we wait so that we can have a couple of more of our friends to come in, I do not own the rights to this music. This music is by India Ari, and it's called Sacred Space. Let's go. Got 60 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I had turned it down. Again, I do not own the rights to this music. This is Sacred Space by India Ari.
Remember a moment in which maybe became yes.
So get your water, or whatever you want to drink. And we're going to be talking about the power of love. You said you're frying yours right now? Yes. What type of fish are you frying? I'm glad that you said that. So today, as we wind down, we are speaking about the power of love. And what is the power of love and how has it impacted your life? So as you all know, one of my favorite psalmist recording artists is India Ari. Hey, KJ. And I just love this. Her latest album. It's called Sacred Space. You haven't had a chance to listen to it? Listen to it. Listen to it. So, all right. So what we're going to do today, I am so excited today to have my guest on. I tell you, this Power of Love series has been very, very interesting, And I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud that you as a community with me have decided to come on board and be a part of this great adventure when we're speaking about the power of love. So today I have a great guest. Her name is Angela Y. Ervin. And I wanted to say this. She's fantastic. She's fabulous. So let me give you a little bit of information about Angela Ervin. She is a life designer. Now, I love that title, life designer. So she gonna help you design your life, baby. Some of us wish we would have had Angela Y. Ervin about 10 years ago. And she has spent over 25 years helping, advising single mothers. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, helping them design their own personal lives as well as their businesses from the inside out. And so, I also want to let you know this. Guess what? She's also an author. Listen, I know somebody told me that this weekend was Sweetest Day. Listen, you will still have some time to get your book because she's an author. She speaks dynamically on healing and self empowerment. And she also is there to help entrepreneurs with what she calls the 13 laws of success. She also hosts a weekly transformational broadcast that helps evolve individuals who are on a conscious journey of awakening. Woo, baby. So, what we're going to do is we're going to welcome Miss Angela Y. Ervin to the show.
Hello, everyone.
Well,
Thank
hello,
you.
Miss Angela Ervin. How are you?
I am doing well, doing very well. Thank you so much for having me here today.
You
I
are
really appreciate it.
you are very welcome. You are very welcome. So, one of the things that I think, I always say that everything that I do, I want to do it in truth, and I also want to
Mhm.
do it authentically. And
Right.
so I would not be doing that if I did not let our audience know. So let me lean in, y'all. I just want to tell y'all something. Lean in, y'all. I know y'all over here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I apologize. I want to say good evening to my Sister Friends United group. Good evening, ladies. How are you on today? Hello to my YouTube subscribers, as well as the streamers on internetmarie.com and, of course, Facebook. Good evening. Glad that y'all are here. And so one of the things is, hey, Cynthia, one of the things I wanted to do was to let everybody know as they lean in. This is my sister, y'all. I know y'all didn't know. Y'all didn't know. I love giving surprises. This is my sister. So listen, I know that, a lot of times people are like, oh, wow, this is my sister. This is my sister. But let me tell y'all something. Baby, this is my blood sister. So we're not talking about the sister, this is my sis. No, this is my blood sister. Okay. She's doing great and fabulous things. And one of the things I always say is, and one day I'm going to have my children on here once they get the courage to do it, is that when we eat, you feed your family first. Y'all gonna
Absolutely.
catch that later. Y'all gonna catch it later. So thank you, Angela.
Absolutely. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So we're getting ready to get into it. Hey,
Hey, Latasha.
Latasha and Cynthia. You see Cynthia on there?
I
Can you
don't
see?
know if I know Cynthia.
Yes,
The
you
name sounds familiar, but I just can't. Oh, Cynthia. Yes.
do.
Hey, how are you?
All right, y'all had.
It had to kind of like register to me.
Uh-huh.
I got it now. It's
Yeah,
good to see
yeah.
you.
We're waiting for the other people. Tasha, let them know we on right now. Okay, so here's the thing. So we're talking about this power of love, and hey, Yolanda, and how
Hey,
important
Yolanda.
the power of love is. So, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? And
Mhm.
then we're going to go into question number one.
Well, first of all, I am a mom. I like to always highlight my children because they are, to me, the most valuable gift that I've been given.
Mhm.
And so I always like to bring them to the forefront. They're never like behind me, although I am, their senior. I often tell my children that I give them my shoulders to stand on so that their reach is not as far, make their reach a little bit easier for them. So I am a mom of three adult children.
Yay.
Yes, adult children. I am a grandmother. of one Paris Chanel. And
Ah,
as Antoinette has stated, that I am an author, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a person who I enjoy life. I enjoy living. I enjoy everything about this earth and this journey that I have embarked upon over the course of time. And so um, I look forward to, the things that are transpiring right now, as well as the things that will transpire in the future in my life. Um, I am an author. I don't know if I said that already, but I am an author. I also do public speaking, and I host a conference called Girl Evolve. And so that's just a little bit about me. Um,
yeah. So thank you for sharing that. So that means that, we obviously have a lot in common. And I think one of the things that the audience wants to know as we talk about this power of love is, how has the power of love influenced your life?
Wow. Well, for me, the power of love has caused me to, first of all, understanding what the word love is. Love within itself is the highest frequency, it's the highest vibrational frequency that we as human beings can have. And when we vibrate at that high frequency, we don't have to go around looking for love. We become that love that attracts other people that possibly may need what you have or that are in like-mindedness as you are. And so when I think about the power of love and how love has transformed me or helped my life, it has caused me to look at the people that I would say that have done different things to me, that have been negative, and look at that from a different standpoint. I believe that we have all been given opportunities to evolve in life. And if you look at the word evolve, you would see the word love in there. And so, in our evolutionary journey that we're on, we should be loving even the more. We should be compassionate even the more. And so, if I look back over my life at the different things that has transpired in my life, I can honestly say that the power of love helped me to evolve. It helped me to see that individual and say, well, hey, perhaps that person is going through a situation that has absolutely nothing to do with me, but everything to do with them. Nothing to do with me, but all of them are he or she, all of them. And so the power of love for me causes my eyes to be open and have compassion. Me, I'm an empath, and being someone who can feel and sense other things that other people are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have some type of compassion and love alone together to be able to have those or to walk in that particular direction or to walk as an empath in the earth. And so love transforms you. It transforms me from the inside out. Whereas you can be bitter or you can be better. And a lot of
Ooh.
times people tend to allow things that have happened to them in their life and they become bitter. Um, there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about bitterness rots the bone. Bitterness causes diseases in the body and it
Mm-hmm.
causes cancer to set up inside of the bone. And so I often tell people the different things that have transpired in my life, that was the thing that was used. That was the catalyst that was used to cause me to evolve and to cause me to see love at a greater depth than what I had originally saw it.
Wow. So we gotta I'm gonna switch. We're gonna take a break because you just said a whole bunch of stuff right here that we're gonna listen. We love whenever we're on here and have great thought leaders and individuals that have had so much experience. So I want to just piggyback on something you said. You said you are not, and you're right now, you're not looking for love.
Right,
You have become that love.
right.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm not looking for love. Basically, you said, I'm not looking for love. I am love.
Right, absolutely. And that's true.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Man, man, man. Somebody said, I can speak to that. Listen. And then you said, Yolanda, put this in the chat, in the comments. You said you can either be bitter, or you can either be better.
Right, absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
you can't be both. Bitter and sweet cannot dwell in the same fountain or the same body or in the same space. So you only can be one. Either you're going to be bitter in life for the rest of your life or for the remainder of your life, or you're going to use those what seems like traumatic experiences to cause you to be better, to cause you to evolve, and to cause a greater awakening of love to manifest in your own life first and foremost, because that is what we are to be doing. We're to be loving ourselves and seeing areas in our life where we need to allow that love to marinate or to explode on the inside of us. I often tell people this. A lot of times when I see people that are going through different things, I can see the trauma. And if you think about a woman, and I hope this is not too deep for the audience, but when you think about a woman, when a woman is having her menses, her cycle, as soon as that egg penetrates, I'm sorry, as soon as that sperm, that cell penetrates that egg, the cycle stops. And I look at that cell as love. As soon as love comes into the vicinity of where trauma is, the cycle stop, disruption stop, the blood, the hemorrhaging stop. And the reason why people are bleeding in their hemorrhaging is because they lack, first of all, love, self-love. We ought to be self-savior. I'm here to save myself. I don't need anyone to rescue me. We're to save and rescue our own individual life. And we first have to do that by seeing ourselves as who God has called us to be. And we see ourselves connected to God or source, and God is love. And so we know that love overcomes, and we first have to have that same overcoming power to overcome different things that are in our own life before we can say, hey, I'm going to love you, or I'm going to, walk in a dimension of love with you. And that's why I say I'm not looking for a love. I'm not looking for that. I am love. And anytime you put the word I am before anything, you become that. It becomes solidified. And so I am the love, and that love attracts, because love is magnetic. Everything in the earth vibrates. Everything in the earth has a frequency, and love vibrates at megahertz, at 482 megahertz. So that is the highest frequency that we can vibrate as human beings in the earth realm. And it can be hard. Now, don't get me wrong. It can be tough, especially when are dealing with situations and circumstances and people around you, and you can feel all of this negative things. So it can be tough. And that's when you have to do like the airplane and the pilot. When the turbulence is coming, they soar a little bit higher. They go up at another altitude. And they begin to ascend higher. And that's what we have to do as human doings, not a human being, but human doings in the earth realm, because we're first spirit, soul, and then we're body.
Listen, thank you for joining. If this is your first time being on Antoinette Marie Speaks, I tell you, you came on an exceptional day. Listen, she said, we are not human beings. We are human doings. If you cannot catch that, I want somebody to really catch that on tonight, because that's a powerful, extremely powerful statement, because we are always in action. We are always in action.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the reasons why she's saying we are human doers. We're always doing, versus saying, okay, well, and I listen, for those individuals that this might be a little bit, above you in your mindset right now, I'm asking you to open up, right? To open up your heart, to open up and allow for this great information to be downloaded, right, into your spirit. We're not saying like, oh, wow, you got to, believe everything. This is not about belief. What this is about, it is about the power of love. And everybody has a story. And I'm telling you, you just really released some fantastic nuggets. And so I want to talk about something that you said. So I know right now I'm not going to finish all my questions, because and can I tell people something? Can y'all stop texting me? Because I'm on, I already know I'm on here. So I love y'all though, but stop texting me. Just come on here. If you got a question, and I'll just say that if you have a question, please put your question in the comment section. And that way, if you want to talk to Miss Angela Y. Ervin, you can definitely do that. We're going to leave probably about 7 minutes at the end. so that we can have a really great conversation and expound upon with your questions so that she's able to answer them. So one of the things I love about what you said was about trauma. And
Mhm.
I've always been the person, it started when I was 43. So I guess I can't say always. Um, the power of love can so extremely heal people.
Yes.
And I didn't know, I don't even know if I ever heard that. I don't even know if I ever heard somebody say that love can heal. But if I
Mhm.
did, it didn't register in my spirit because I was so broken, so
Mhm.
traumatized by just a lot of childhood. I call them diseases, infections, all kinds of things, just traumatized. And I experienced, it wasn't until I married my husband um, now that I'm telling you, human beings. So when you said, come on up in this room, so when you said that you're not looking for love, that you are love, I totally now have placed that together because my husband exudes love. So even though I
Mhm.
wasn't looking for love, love found me. Love, that is what I needed. And so because my spirit, my Noah's, what I call it, knew that I needed that, and I spoke it. When
Mhm.
you speak it, it's y'all. Y'all know this, right? When you speak things, it has to go someplace. It vibrates. It has to
Absolutely.
go someplace, right? And so, even though I spoke that, even if that meant that I was in the bathroom, I was like, God, somebody really is gonna really truly love me. When I spoke those words, listen, God, listen, you with the God that is in you, that what you speak has to go someplace, right?
Absolutely.
And so I really truly believe, and I speak about this a lot, that through my trauma that I went through, I wasn't looking to get married to nobody. Listen,
Mhm.
I was like, listen, matter of fact, let me drink my tea. Hold on. I wasn't. I was like, I'm child, please. That's done over with. Hey, Shamika. But I tell you, one of the things that as I continue to evolve is
Mhm.
that God that dwells within us, the most high that lives within us, he knows us better than we know ourselves. He just really
Absolutely.
does. And because he's such a great God, because he's so great, he said, listen,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you I know what you need, child. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Mhm.
it. So I believe that that's what happened to me. I really truly do that. My husband is love, and he knew that I needed that love. And so man, that's deep. We're gonna do a series on that. We're gonna have to have you back on. We're gonna really go in deep on that one. Okay, so
Okay.
number two. Share. Thank you, Shamika. So question number two.
Mhm.
So tell us, when in your life have you ever experienced beyond yourself the power of love?
Well, that's an excellent question. Um, I can say that I've experienced the power of love. Um, I do believe that my former husband exemplified the power of love, and I believe I also exemplified the power of love to him.
Mhm.
Um, Let me just say this. If I can go back and just piggyback on something that you stated about words, when you release them out in the atmosphere, because there are laws that govern the universe. And so when we speak out, it has to manifest. It has to, because words, the molecules that go into the atmosphere, they have to come together and form a matter.
Mhm.
And so when we're speaking it out of our mouth, matter comes to existence. So whatever you spoke out then, and I tell people today, if you don't want to see it in your tomorrow, don't speak it today. I don't care what it is.
Ooh.
And words are like, if you when you speak words out of your mouth, and just say for an example, I did an example at a conscious group that I was at, and I overseed, and I, showed them that when you speak over water, or if you speak over rice and you
Yes.
speaking negative things over, it turns brown. When you speak things that are positive, it remains white. And that's the same power that our words have. The words that we speak govern our world. I think Kirk Franklin wrote a song, Up Above Our Head I Hear Melodies so clear. because he was speaking things out of his mouth. And so going back to love, just your question that you asked me, have I ever experienced the power of love outside of myself? When I think about the power of love, or if I can use this being in love, to me, it simply means desiring the happiness of someone else other than myself.
Mm.
And then I admire that individual. I admire them just for who they are, not trying to change them, not trying to make them better, not trying to make them feel who I believe that they should feel, who I believe they should be. And so if I love them, then I'm going to have the compassion, I'm going to have generosity, and I'm going to have a special care for the individual. That's because I love them. And so have I ever been in a relationship or been in a love relationship? I can say yes that I have, because once again, I desired things for them that I did not desire for myself. I desired for them to be better. I desired for them to have happiness. I desired for them to have joy. And that's what being in love is to me. Now, when we look at the world, how people have said, well, I'm in love, and then 3 days later, well, let me just take it out a little bit further, maybe 3 years later, you end up divorced. So did you fall out of love, or were you really in love? Because love is not something that you feel. Love is an action. Love is
That's right.
again, you don't just say, I feel, in love with this individual. No, love is who you are. Love is what you're doing. And so being in love is, or having that love outside of myself is just, to me, just being happy for someone else and wanting to have that person experience the best that life can absolutely have for them. I told someone before, I want you to be happy whether you're with me or not.
Yeah.
Period. Whether you're in my life or whether I'm in your life, I want you to be happy, because that's what love is. That is what being in love is. I want you to be happy whether we're together or whether we're separate from one another. And so let me just say this. When people, especially single people, most single people say, I want to find the love of my life, or I want to find my soulmate. Finding the love of your life today in this particular world means being the pioneer of your own destiny. I'm the pioneer of my own destiny. So when it comes to my relationship choice, I'm deciding who I want to be with. And people have often asked me, well, why, you've been divorced, for such a long time. Why haven't you gotten married? Because I'm the pioneer of my own destiny. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I desire. And if I'm 80 years old and I finally attract that, because you said something not long ago, that you attracted what your husband to you, because there's a law of attraction. So if I'm 80 or 90 years old and I'm just not getting it, attracting that individual, then that's what it is. When it comes to relationship choices, even in still, whoever we decide to be with, there's no guarantee, there's no predictable outcome. Despite all the romantic promises and all the fantasies and all those different things that come, there's no predictable outcome that your relationship is going to last. It just isn't. Sometimes we're in relationships, and those relationships are to teach us something. And then after they serve their purpose, then they go on. So, but that's something totally different. But to answer your question, yes, I've been in, not this thing where I'm in love, getting this goosebump feeling, feeling for the individual. Oh, I'm just so in love. I'm so, emotionally just wrapped up in this individual. No, I have not been in that, but I have been in love where I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And your happiness supersedes mine, because that's what true love does.
Yeah.
True love desires the best for someone else.
Yeah. Listen, earlier this week, y'all saw me post a flyer, and then today I posted the flyer and said, we're coming on, we're in this Power of Love series. And listen, so now y'all see why when I say stand and tune in on Fridays for the Power of Love series. Now, I know there's some people that might be eating a fish fry, you got a steak dinner, so on and so forth. Listen, come on and let some other people know, like, listen, y'all really need to listen to this. So I'm going to just bring back a couple of points. And I think this is very important because when we talk about, when you hear people say, I fell in love, first of all, I got an issue with that whole statement. Like, you fell in love, like it just happened by, you didn't even know it was going to happen, right? And that really
Right.
isn't true. It really isn't true. Okay. So the other thing is that as individuals, we have choices. So I've said this before, like sometimes we think like, if I sprinkle a little wish here, sprinkle a little
Right.
here, sprinkle a little namaste or whatever people want to call it, juju, so, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's going to happen. And that's not how anything that I've ever obtained. That's just not how it works. Even if
Right.
I knew that certain things that I knew that I had to speak out of my mouth, and not just speak out of my mouth, but there were things where I knew I had to put pen to paper too. And I also had to activate it, which means that
Right.
when you activate something, there's an action. You have to have
Absolutely.
momentum around it. And so if you are an individual where you desire to be married, there's some things you have to do. Now, let me say this. Now, y'all know I love y'all, but let me say this, and I'm just going to say it anyway because it's my business. Please do not think that your grandmother, your mom, your minister, your pastor, your boss, whoever, please stop asking people to pick out your mate for you. Can you stop doing
Hello.
that? I just want y'all to stop doing that, please.
Yes.
You have the power within yourself to do what you want to do. It is your choice. It is your choice. And I do believe in where, where there's a parable in the Bible that says, like, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So I'm not here to break that entire scripture down, but I do want to say, whether you male or female, even if he comes to you as a woman, if he comes to you, you have the power to say no. You don't have to say yes. Even if she, because I want to be very, equal. Even if she comes, she say, I believe that you're my husband. Well, if you don't believe you her husband, then what are you doing? Okay, that's too deep for y'all. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna move on, Andrew, because that's a little bit too deep. But I do want to say this, is that the words that you speak govern every part of your life. She already said that. The words that you speak govern your world. So
Absolutely.
hey Tracy, I want us to be very cognitive of, and I think after tonight, you're going to be very cognitive of what you are allowing to come out of your mouth. We talk so much about being intentional. You're going to be very intentional now about what comes out of your mouth. So you actually already answered the other question I was going to ask was, have you ever you've already talked about the love. And I love the way that you explained that. And then you answered number 3 too, because we were going to ask, are you, we got some people that be on here. So somebody already asked me if you are married. You already said, she's why Ervin is not married. So let me tell y'all something now. Do not send me a personal text or email or DM me asking me nothing about Angela Y. Ervin. She gonna give y'all her contact information at the end. So let y'all know, don't be commenting because I'm not finna spill no tea. Just want to let y'all know that. Okay, so here's our next question.
Okay.
What would you say to an individual, a male or female, but mostly female? What would you say to an individual, to a woman that would say, if you were mentoring her and she said, I really desire to be married, I really desire to experience the power of love in my life daily with a spouse. What would be like some words of advice that you would give to that individual or to that woman?
Wow, that's an excellent question. First of all, I would give her or him that the advice of understanding themselves first, because when it comes to selecting a mate, you're going to select someone that closely resembles you or that have a lot of similarities as you.
Hmm.
I tell people this, when you're, for me, whoever I decide to, choose or, be with, and we have some type of mutual agreement on some different things, they're going to have to vibrate on the same frequency or similar frequency, not same, but similar frequency. And I'm going to use the word you used that, when he who finds the wife, some words, the letter E, some words just did not exist in the original text. There was a Y there. We think about the word Wi-Fi, that means signal.
Mm.
So that means vibration. So whoever finds the right vibration, similar vibration for me,
Mm.
that's who I'm going to be with. And so first it comes with knowing yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you want. You have to know where you're going in life. Where do you desire to see yourself in life 5 years from now?
Mhm.
When in the beginning, when, if I'm going to use this parable, when Adam saw Eve, he saw her and he knew exactly who she was. He said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. I mean, there's her inward part, her external, the spiritual nature of who she was, resembled him. Outside the external also resembled him. She had body parts, that made her be the womb man that she was. And so he had to know who he was in order to be able to identify that person, that mate, when that person was presented to him.
Angela, why are you doing this to my audience? They not ready for this. They not ready. Listen, now I know y'all just heard what she said. She said that Adam had to have known himself. Come on in this room. He had to have known who he was before he could even say, "Ooh, child, you cute."
Mm-hmm.
He had to have known who he was, because if he had not known who he was, how could he say, "Oh, she looked
Right.
like me"? This
Absolutely.
is Bonham. Oh my goodness! I'm looking at me. I'm looking at her. We kind of
Mm-hmm.
we look alike.
You're going to marry someone that resembles you, that have a lot of similarities, that vibrate on your same frequency or similar frequency.
Absolutely. So so that means that when you hear this thing, what people say, and I've honestly, for me, I used to hear people say, "Oh, opposites attract." I beg to differ. That's just me. Now, I will say this: even when it comes to, to a spouse, to a husband, or to a mate, they're not going to be exactly like you, because it's not
Right.
possible, right? We know that that's not possible. Thank you, future RE in 18. We know, but what I can say is, listen, if I know, y'all know I'm gonna talk about some food, right? So if I know that I like sweet potato pie, and my husband like pumpkin pie, which I don't like pumpkin pie, right? Hey, Craig. And every single thing. So it's not just one or two or three things. Every single thing that I am attracted to, he's not attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Every we don't even have an attraction for the same movies. We don't have an attraction, and I'm just talking about tangible things, but we can go deeper on that when it comes to even the thought process, to another degree, even what we believe, our
Mm-hmm.
faith in something, our faith in God. We don't and that's when you hear in the good book where it says y'all are unequally yoked. That's what that means. I know y'all was trained that it meant something else, but it really don't mean what you think that it means. What it means is that you have two individuals that have no congruency together about absolutely anything. You don't think about your finances the same. You don't think about similar when it comes to how you're going to raise, children together.
Mhm.
You're not congruent in who's going to do certain things in the household, the roles, the responsibilities.
Mhm.
You loved it in him.
Yeah, right.
So we're here today just wanting you to know, listen, sometimes you got to pull back. I call it FICA, F-I-K-A. You got to pull back. You have to relax, and you have to start thinking about your life. You have to start thinking about, what is it that I truly want in a mate, a partner, a spouse. You have to. If you cannot have congruency or cannot be congruent in how you're even going to raise children,
Mhm.
beloved, that's going to be a problem. And I don't
Absolutely.
care how cute she is. I don't care how beautiful her teeth are. I don't care how he smells. I don't care if
Mhm.
he makes six figures. I don't care how big of a car, big of a home that he has. If
Right.
you all are not vibrating on that same level and your mantles not even have no similarity, I'm gonna tell you now it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's gonna be a problem. And so I want individuals. So come on up in here. So let me read this comment. So we have a comment that says, "That was
Mhm.
me and my ex, different in everything in every way." So Raymond, I want you to talk a little bit more like about that. And then Shamika said, "How can two walk together unless they agree?" I totally understand that comment. And then Raymond
Mhm.
said, Amen, I agree, sis. There is some different traits, but totally different. And so here's the thing. We have to take responsibility for who we allow in our lives.
Absolutely.
We have to take that responsibility. And so I know, and I've said this to y'all, which y'all know I'm very unconventional when it comes to ministry, when it comes to knowing who God is. And we're not sitting on the front pew. Listen, today it really is about, when we're talking about the power of love, I don't want you to just be here listening to what we're saying and it makes you intoxicated and high. And then tomorrow you're still talking about, I want somebody to love me. We just told you you are love. It reminds me of, I think Tyler Perry. Tyler, I'm saying your name, so we need some money for this movie we're gonna be making. So we need a producer. I speak it out for real. It reminds me of a movie that he made called The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I don't like the
Yeah.
title, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
And two of the characters, so it was the woman that actually had gotten kicked out of the house, drug out of the house, actually, and the guy that came to move her out. And so they eventually got together. No, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the same movie, but on
Yeah,
one
that's right.
that is
Mhm.
right. Okay. So it was,
Mhm.
and I remember the guy saying to her, I love you so much. I think about your health. I'm paraphrasing. I think about what's happening to you more than I think about myself.
Right.
Baby, when I heard him say that, I was like, say what now? That was one of the most magnificent phrases that I had ever even heard anybody say. And when you hear things like that, it's so selfless.
Absolutely.
So to me, when I hear about the power of love, we've already talked about tonight how love can heal. So we're going to talk to Angela just really quick about how has the power of love helped you through you processing anything that you felt like you had to, if you've ever had any trauma or just a bad situation where you were like, man, I knew this, how did I mess this up? How has
Mhm.
the power of love helped you through your process of evolving, coming to knowing that you are love and that God is God dwells within you every single day? Tell us a little bit about that.
Wow. Can I piggyback on something that you stated? You mentioned about similarity and vibrating on the same frequency. We echoed that point, and I want to just share this last little statement, if I can, that whoever you say I do to, you become. Doesn't matter. Whatever you say I do to, you're becoming that. You're attaching yourself to that. And in life, I've seen so many single people leaping into relationships without good judgment. You're just making choices based off of your lower impulse
Mm,
without your conscious thought. You're not using your conscious thought to help you make a sound, good judgmental decision.
mm-hmm.
And so therefore you here and you're there, you're everywhere. And yeah, all of us have a freedom, of choice to do whatever we want to do with our life. Because again, I stated the very maybe like 10 minutes ago, you are the pioneer of your own destiny. The relationship you choose is your own choice, is your
Mm-hmm.
destiny. And you want to marry someone that's going in the same direction. Destiny means destination that you're heading into. So how has love helped me over the years? I think that was the question. Um, Love has helped me to walk in forgiveness and forgiving people before they even ask. That has taken me and I'm not going to say I was like that initially. I had to evolve into that. And when you think about the word forgive, me that you're going to do it before, you're going to go before them, and you're going to pardon them. You're going to pardon away, or you're going to go before them and you're going to give something to them. You're going to give a gift to them, and that takes a lot of humility. That takes you not walking operating from your ego, because the ego wants to have a voice. The ego wants to say, hey, no, you're not going to do that. They did this to you. And so therefore you're going to retaliate and you're going to do this. That's the lower nature. That's your low level consciousness. But when you vibrate on a higher state of consciousness and your higher self is saying, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to give them something. You
Mm-hmm.
have an inheritance. All of us came here with an inheritance on the inside of us. And I know we often said that the father is to leave an inheritance for his children's children, but I'm talking about the spiritual father, that,
Yeah.
source. We came here with an inheritance that we are to bring to the world. And sometimes our life could be where we've had a set of circumstances and situations that have transpired in our life just for the simple sake of helping us to evolve and helping us to overcome traumatic experiences. I believe some of the things that we're going through, especially when it comes to relationships, any type of relationships, some of the stuff that we're dealing with is ancestral. It's not even ours. Stuff that has been passed down and matriculated through, transitional or our journey here. And we're having to deal with the traumas that our ancestors left. So now we have to go and do that because it has to be cleared out. We have to clear out those things. We have to get rid of the dead stuff, the toxicity, and we have to do the the dark work, remove the darkness out of our own life, our own soul, and so that the light of God, because God is light, so that the light can shine ever so bright. So for me, overcoming has been like I said years ago, it was a challenge. Now is that I see people and I understand what they're going through has
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing to do with me. And sometimes people use you unconsciously to work out their own soul darkness.
Mm-hmm. I think that is, it's so intuitive, just even that piece of
Mhm.
statement that you said. And, this is part of the hard work that we have to do. And the other thing is that we have to have clarity.
Absolutely.
When you can have clarity that this is happening because of this, and that this may have nothing to do with you, that this may have absolutely nothing to do
Mhm.
with you,
Absolutely.
I see it as God. Most I was like, listen, girl, I need for you to go on. I need for you to be existence on this earth because
Mm-hmm.
this needs to be taken care of. Kind of like what you were talking about. Like, sometimes we have ancestors. People, come on, y'all. Y'all got to believe in ancestors, right? Listen. Okay. All right. Raymond says, listen, one of the things I always say is that it's always so good. And as we have this conversation, since y'all eating y'all fish fry, so let me go ahead and, get my chocolate. Then let me see, because I'm a little hungry. So Raymond, okay, sir, I see you. Raymond says, so he's going to tell us a little bit about, can you see the comment, Angela?
Yes.
Okay, so he said, so he's talking about, I believe he's talking about his ex.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says, so we were unaligned in our spiritual walk. We did not agree with the way we raised the children. She enjoyed the party scene. I was sober and not interested in the party life. I wanted to start my own company. She was against it. I wanted to save and invest. She was running up credit card bills and hiding money. So that's the name. That's the name of a few. That's the name of a few. And I can admit to create it
It
created me a
created
lot of
me.
anger and bitterness. Yes. Angela already said either you are doing better or you bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is, Raymond, it's just a beautiful thing that you are able and willing to come and speak what you are speaking, because I honestly believe that there's healing just by you being able to speak it. And not
Mm-hmm.
only have you spoke it, you've written it out, and it is all because now other people can read what you wrote. So you are helping individuals just in what you do, sir, every single
Mm-hmm.
day. And I know what you do every single day. You help, you support, you inspire other individuals. So thank you for that. Craig said, so true. Beauty and being handsome gets old real quick when you
Mm-hmm.
don't agree. Craig, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And so a lot of times when we're speaking about, wanting to be married, so on, or, listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not going to be a lot of work. It is a lot.
Right.
But I will also say, do that work within yourself first
Yeah.
before you are like, okay, well, you hear people talk about, well, I'm looking for my Boaz. Listen, you going to make a ass out of yourself if you don't get your own life together. That's
Right.
really what we have to do, because I said this before in a show that I was talking in. I said, we cannot expect for other people, and we
Mm-hmm.
say this stuff and we don't really think it through. Like, you're my everything. Baby, there is nobody my everything. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Right.
You hear people say, you complete me. Baby, I
Mm.
was already complete. And these are things that I said to my husband. Listen, we both listen. I'm not telling you that you complete me. I am not Tom Cruise. I'm not doing that show because that's not me. I am already complete. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Felt. Listen to the wording. That's how I felt. Um, but one of the things is that when we really decide to really dive into the real truth of what love is, and love is not something that we just feel like. I feel, because our feelings change our feelings could change every moment. But when you talk about love, love is an action. It's not just what we say, because I can say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then 2 days from now I'm hitting you over the head, or 2 days from now
Mm-hmm.
you need something. I can help, but I ain't helping.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So those are things that we have to start thinking about, and not letting other people tell us. Experience is great, but we still have a mind of our own, right? We walk right. We listen. Y'all know I love y'all,
Mhm.
but Antoinette Marie Speaks. We are in alignment with the truth, and I believe
Mhm.
that that's the reason why you take out your time and you come on here on Fridays or come on Tuesdays, and you take that time to listen and to gather together as a community, as a tribe. I think that that's important because you can go anywhere and somebody's, either preaches to you or gives you an inspiration or motivational speech and talking about the 7 love languages and so on and so forth. And all that may be fine. But what are you going to do? Are you going to study? Are you going to
Right.
first study yourself? If you know, let me tell you something. For years, I thought my favorite color was purple.
Hmm.
For years. And to be honest, I didn't even think that my favorite color was purple. You know what happened? Every time I would see when people would say royalty, and particularly then I saw, churches, everybody had the color purple. Every first lady had a purple chair or purple somewhere in the church, or so like all women's favorite color was supposed to be purple. So I was like, okay, my favorite color is purple. Until till I made a decision to know who I was, Antoinette Marie, myself. Listen, when I started to evolve and when I started to do the hard work within myself, I was like, I don't even like purple to this day. Like purple does nothing for me. And it's not that it's bad. I just don't, that's not my favorite color. My favorite color is green. I love green. Teal green. Love it. Favorite color. Because when I see that color, I can embrace with that. I understand it. And
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go that deep. I'm a person that loves nature.
Mhm.
Horses. I love dogs. I
Mhm.
love, anything that is organic. I love it and I appreciate it. I love trees, that type of thing. And so I totally start to not research other people. I don't have to research you. Let me
Right.
research myself.
Mhm.
What is it that you really want? And so I would say that to any individual that's not married that wants to be married, because I'm gonna tell you this: everybody don't want to be married.
Right.
I know a lot of people are like, nope, not for me. I'm committed to something else, and marriage is not what I want. That just was not my story, and it's
Mhm.
okay. And it's okay. So our last question. Oh wow, we're already an hour. Oh my goodness. My last question is, if individuals want to get in contact with you, oh, before we do that, tell them a little bit about, so I know that you are an author. Of course, I know you're my sister.
Mhm.
So you're an author. So talk a little bit about your books
Okay.
and where people can find you and the title of your books and all that, your latest one.
Okay. My latest book title is The 13 Laws of Success.
The 13 Laws of Success. Okay.
Deals with entrepreneurship. And then I have a book that's designed for single mothers that teaches single mothers how to launch a business within 30 days, successful business within 30 days. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've owned Children's Learning Center, construction company, janitorial company, and among some other things. And I did all of that not by anyone showing me how to do this, other than I've been self-taught, taught myself how to do it. And I was successful at each one of those businesses. My other book is called Hello World is Me. Hello World is Me is a book that deals with a person that's evolving, that's coming on a journey. It's a 21-day book that helps you to evolve in your journey. I deal with every aspect of life, from losing a baby, from going through my divorce, from being raped, molested, being in church, religious programming. And the last chapter of the book deals with the prodigal son, how the prodigal son had to find his way back home. I know we've been told the story that the prodigal son was rebellious. He wasn't rebellious. He had to come to himself. So if he had to come to himself, that means that his real self, his higher self, was somewhere out there and he was not able to obtain it. But once he had his life experiences, he came to himself and he awakened to his true and his higher consciousness or his true divinity. And so that's what happens with all of us in life. We can say, well, I think someone said that in one of their comments, the things that the person had done caused anger and all these other things that happened in them. And when actuality, it highlighted what was already there. No one can do anything to you unless you give them that type of power, and they don't have that power over you. That's it. They don't have that ability to do anything to you. People are doing things, and it's like a domino or like a pawn. People are being used as a pawn to get you to where you need to be, to help you to evolve in life. So therefore, if someone is, if there's a clashing, with no ions clash. I talked about that in the last chapter of Hello World is Me. So if there's a clashing, that means that something else is trying to come about. There's something else is trying to be to birth for. And so therefore, whatever is happening for you, because it's not happening against you, it's happening for you to evolve in life. So that just showed you, whoever the individual was, my former husband, showed me that I needed to step out more because I was quiet, reserved. I didn't want to be in front of the cameras. Like, no, let somebody else do that. And I felt like he was doing it because I felt like he was an excellent teacher. And he will always say, no, you go ahead and you go for it because you can teach, you have the grace to do it. And I will be like, no, trying to be that little wife to push him to the forefront. And all along, it had already been there. So I had to break out of that. He was a kickstand, like a bike have a kickstand that holds it up. He was the thing that held me up. And then the kickstand had to be kicked away from me so that now I can get out there as an eagle and begin to soar. And so he was the things that happened in our marriage was the thing that was divinely orchestrated by God himself, source himself, to cause me to evolve, to cause me to come to another place. So it was for my good. It was for my advantage, my advantage and for my advancement. And so you can find that book, Hello World is Me, is on Amazon. The Power to Heal is on Amazon. Or you can go to my website, which is www.angelawhiteervin.com. And you can find all of those materials on my website. They're there. And I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram at I am Angela Y. I am Angela Yvonne. And then my nonprofit organization is on Instagram, the Girl Evolve Company, or Girl Evolve is on there as well. And then also too, I'm going to be launching another product in a few weeks that I've been working on. And maybe I'll get a chance to make some other announcements about that. Or if you're following me, you'll be able to see it on my page somewhere. So that's where you can find my information at.
Absolutely. Listen, that she's already giving you so many great nuggets. People call them gold. I think there were a lot of platinum nuggets here on this evening. And one of the things I would say is to get the book. Am I biased? Yep. This is my show and I can be. Check me, boo. Nobody. That's one. The other thing is that I have my daughter that's in college. She actually has read Angela Y. Ervin's book, and it really has helped her. So if you have young millenniums or young individuals, as well as anybody, listen, I think when this book came out, now I'm telling it, if I'm lying, she's gonna correct me. I think I bought 15 copies of this book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I bought 15 copies of this book. And so what I want to say is y'all need to get the book. And it is it's only like 25 pages. Something like listen, y'all, don't tell me you ain't got no time now. You got some time. We know that. We know you got some time, right? You can sit down and one of the things that I like about this Angela Ervin's book is that she has exercises in here as well. And then she
Mhm.
also has day 1, day 2, day 3. And it goes all the way to 21, I believe, when I remember.
Yeah,
It
that's
goes
correct.
all the way from
Mhm.
from day 1 to day 21. And then she has some quotes in the back. And so I would say get it. And listen, let me tell you why I love truth, right? So one of my daughter is on here, right? My daughter, so she said this is what she said. She said 100% would recommend it. Such a great read. And
Thank
she's
you, Anna.
20. Listen, if we want to improve, we have to do the improving
Hmm.
within ourselves and for ourselves before we then go and say, I do. Because you want to be very conscious of what you're saying, I do to, right? Because
Absolutely.
sometimes we're saying I do and we don't even know what we're saying I do to. But I tell you what, those words, once they're released from your mouth, baby,
Yep.
they know what you are aligning yourself with, right?
Hmm.
And so
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you, Angela,
You're
uh,
welcome.
Ervin, for coming on. I know we still have about 11 people that's still on here. And one of
Okay.
the things that I've said is, to if you have questions or you have comments, you're very much free to ask us absolutely anything. It is important for us to be able to communicate and to communicate well, because we really are. I truly believe that we're here to serve a purpose, and we want to be able to equip, and we want to be able to motivate individuals to live this life authentically and to live it on purpose, in purpose, right? we
Right.
want we have to do that. And so for any individual that will say, I truly 100% um, have gotten, something out of this, I think that that's magnificent, because that's the purpose. That's one of the purposes of the reasons why God Most High lives within us every single day. And then, yes, do I know it's Friday? Yes, I know it's Friday. I know it's 7:10. Yes, I do know that
Mhm.
Central Time, and I know it's 8 something Eastern Time. But this is what I will say is that there are going to be times in your life where all the goodness and the greatness is going to be at the bottom. So today is Friday, and people would say, well, that's kind of at the end of the week. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with the end. I'm just going to tell you that.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. And so I just want you to start thinking for yourself. I want you to open up your own, I call it the amygdala that's in the back of your head here. I want you to open that up and to expand, and no longer be like the little bird where somebody else has to always feed you. Like the mother bird goes out, she finds the food, she finds the worm, her babies are small, and then she just puts it in their mouth. We are mature adults, and we are able to go and get the word, whatever that word is, whatever that situation that you have in your life that you feel is not whole, you're able to go get. We got smartphones, iPhones, iPads, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
And so there is no excuse. There's no excuse. And I want to say this at the end. Edwin, thank you so much.
You're
He
welcome.
said, I like that Adam and Eve analogy. Right.
Mm.
Angela Irvin said that. And I thought that was fantastic. Um, if there is something that you want, beloveds, yes, I'm 100% say go ahead and to pray. I believe in prayer 100%, right? But when you finish praying, you must do something. So I always teach this when I do strategic or strategizing. One, you are aware that something is not whole. That's one. Only time you start to change things in your life is when you are uncomfortable, and uncomfortable means that something is not whole within your life, your surroundings, your environment, the atmosphere. Usually that's within you, right? Number two, you go and you get the knowledge that you need to improve, to bring in, or we say to change. You get the knowledge, right? However you need to get that. And this is one mechanism, right? That you're able to obtain knowledge. So you know something is weak or something is broken, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're getting the knowledge. Number three is that you must activate it.
Yeah.
You must activate it. After you've got the knowledge, you're aware, you got knowledge, and now you have to activate it. So now you can never say, I'm this way because of this, or because of him, or because of her, or because my mama did this, or because my daddy didn't do this, or so on and so forth. Listen, beloved, we are the curators of our own destiny. It's you, it's on you. It's 100% on you. And so once you come into alignment with that ideology, then you're able to say, listen, whatsoever I think, we talk so much about this. Whatsoever a man thinketh.
Mm-hmm.
So we quote that, but have we mastered that? We quote it, we hear it, we listen to it on Sundays. And then whenever Sunday is over, we get our stuff and we close it back up and we wait till Wednesday. Then we
Absolutely.
listen on Wednesday. We get it. We get high. We like, yes. We get all that. We throw handkerchiefs or whatever. Even in COVID, even we watching it virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do Thursday and Friday. Oh my goodness. You are just repeating. You're memorizing. And I say
Right.
that maybe, but you have to master what you desire and how you desire to see your life. So you have to master the thing in order for that thing to become what you see yourself becoming, what you see yourself
Absolutely.
being, not even becoming,
Absolutely.
what you see yourself being, what you see yourself, that is who you are. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
my hope, is that when you come on Antoinette Marie Speaks, that you get what you need, that you also bring something to the conversation. That's why I say so much. Make comments. Thank you, Raymond, for making
Mm-hmm.
comments. Thank you, Edwin, for making comments. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Anna. I really, really, truly appreciate you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Tracy and Shamika. Yolanda, you were one of the first that came on. Hey, my friend. KJ, thank you so much. And we got a Facebook user that's probably from Sister Friends United. I want to just say thank you. And hopefully, something that Miss Angela Y. Ervin has stated got down up in your spirit, and you're like, you know what? I got to stop this nonsense. That's what I hope. I want to evoke change within your life. I want you to start seeing yourself. Seeing is ing. Ing means continuation, not just for a moment. I want you to continue to see yourself. And when you see yourself doing it, you got to do it, baby cakes. You just do. There is
Absolutely.
no fairy dust. God is not going
Absolutely.
to be just like, oh, let me sprinkle this dust. Oh, yes. Booyah. It's going to happen. Listen, if somebody ever told you that, they lied. I'm just going to tell you, and I'm not scared of nobody. They just told you a lie. So I just want y'all and I say this because I care. I say this because I love you. I say this because I know exactly where you are. And I want you to know that there's a greater life that you can live. You're welcome at one, that you can live a life of abundance. Abundance
Yes.
is not what I say that it is. Abundance is about what you say that it is.
Mm-hmm.
What the I am and you say that it is. That's what abundance is. And it don't always have to be the same. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
always have to look the same. But I truly believe that there's a parable that talks about, it says, I can't think of it right now, so I must mean I don't need to say it. But I want you to grow.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that I really, really, truly want you to grow. And I'll tell you right now, I'm that chick. I'm for real. Like, listen, if you don't agree with what Antoinette Marie Speaks says, I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. Just grow. That's really where it is. Just grow. And perfect what you feel like you need to perfect, or I would say master what you need to master. So it's that the time has passed where wherever you go makes you feel good and you jump up and you spin around. Because I did it. Child, I was a great old talking hook, baby. My sister tell you, I had a whole dance. Listen, I still would do, cut her leg. I had a whole dance.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is, did change ever take place? No. And this is the funny thing about it, is that my my children just say, Mama, I can do you. They would go and just do the whole little dance, right? I don't want you to be there. Where I want you to be is where you want to be.
Absolutely.
That's really it. It's wherever you want to be. And you have the power within you to do it, because the great I am dwells within you every single day. Wherever you go, the great I am is there with you. When you lay down at night, the great I am is there with you. So we got to start taking and understand our dominion. You got to understand our divinity that's already within us. And baby, let me tell you, I didn't get here overnight. Baby girl had to do some studying. We're not here because, listen, one of the things that we've all, anyway, Angela Ervin, thank you so much. I was getting ready to do something else, but thank you so much for being on the show today, speaking about the power of love. You really have helped many individuals that are on here. And Ronique Benjamin said, "Go, Angela."
Oh yeah, I know Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie.
And Georgette gave you a.
Thank you, Georgette. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you're looking to change and to impact your life and affect your life, please reach out to Angela Y. Ervin. She has already spoken to you about her website, her great book, Hello World, It's Me. You can find it on her website. Angela, tell them your website again.
www.angelayrvin.com. If I can say one last thing,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, there are over 7 billion people in the world. This is for that single person that's saying, okay, my biological clock is ticking. When is it going to happen for me? There's 7 billion people in the world today. You are not going to miss the one for you. The most important thing for you to do is date consciously. A lot of times we date and we're asleep. We're just jumping in and out. Date with conscious intentions about what you're doing and the reason why you're doing it, so that you can get what is best for you. And then someone had said before, how can two walk together except for they be in agreement? And I think about that. I don't just think about a male and a female walking together, but I think about thought and feeling. And thought and feeling has to come together. And when the word walk means to acknowledge the Christ consciousness that lives within the mind and the body as the dominating force. That's the dominating force. And you want to make sure that that other person understand that Christ conscious in the mind, because there's only one mind. I know everybody think, well, I got the mind. We got no. There is one mind. And Scripture tells us that we all have the mind of Christ. So if you can't sit and say, oh, they're sinners and they don't think like God. No, we all have the mind. They just haven't been awakened to the truth and reality of what they have. So make sure you understand when you're walking together and feeling it in thought, that's what that means. I'm coming together. I'm bringing those things together so that I can manifest and I can dominate in the area when it comes to relationships for me. Now, what I dominate and how my relationship looks to me as dominating may not look like someone else, but it is for me because it's vibrating on my similar frequency. So date consciously, date with conscious intentions, and stop just doing anything just for the sake of saying, I have a man or I have a woman or I'm in a relationship. There are levels of there are 3 levels, sometimes 4, all depends on how you teach it, of consciousness. And you have to make sure you're not dating sleep and that you are awake and know what you're getting yourself involved in and not unconsciously not paying attention to what's happening around you.
That is so good. So we may have to have Angela to come back on the show and really talk about I love what she said about date conscious. Don't be unconscious and you're dating somebody. Like it's just
Absolutely.
happening. Like whatever, what do you want to do? I don't care, whatever you want to do. And just spiritually, like we are higher beings, beloved. And but we could go there, but we not. So thank you, Angela. Again, I'm going to
You're
put
welcome.
Angela back into our green room. Yay! Want to say thank you.
Thank you so
Woo!
much for having me.
You are very welcome. I'll be right back. Okay, Angela.
Okay.
So wow. I just want to say thank you to my sister for enlightening us. I tell you, this was dynamic. And I think that we have to be more aware and more responsible when it comes to who we are dating, what we desire, what we are speaking out of our mouths. Because she already told you, whenever you speak certain things, whatever you speak, because I wrote it down, what the words you speak govern your world. That is powerful. Somebody need to put that on a t-shirt. The words that you speak govern your world, govern my world. Put them on your chest. So I want to say thank you again to Miss Angela Ervin. That was so exceptional. Listen, I know y'all didn't take no notes, but I did. Y'all see my notes, right? So that's important. I also want to let you know that today is Friday. I will join you all next week, Friday. Again, we have our part, let's see, 1, 2, 3, part 4. We have part 4 of the power of love. We have a couple that is going to come on, a married couple that's coming on. I believe it's going to be exceptional and fantastic. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'll make the announcement next week. But I want to say thank you for whoever that was that made that fish fry. I appreciate you saying that because this is a time of relaxation. This is a time of relaxation, and I honor you, each and every one of you, for being on here on this evening. So I will see you next week, Friday, for the part 4 of the power of love, and I will also see you next Thursday for myself and my triad on bridging the nations. That is 6:30 Central Time. I will see you then. And yes, I know some of you saw a couple things that someone posted, some great things that's actually coming down the pipe. I speak as though they already are, and I will talk about that also on next week. And as always, if you have a husband or a wife, love on them. Let them know that they are important to you. And remember, love is not just a word that you use, it is an action. As well as if you have children, let your children know that they are important to you, because they are, and they are definitely important to your life trajectory. Children indefinitely are your seed and are an inheritance. So treat them just like that. So I'm going to leave you with a quick song. You ready? I'm ready. This is Antoinette Marie Williams of Antoinette Marie Speaks. I love you, and I will see you on next week.
In this moment I am awakened by your love. Oh, in this moment I am awakened by your love. I am reminded of a time when I was broken, lost in translation in a whirlwind. I was jostled, blinded by reality of daily facing struggle.
today I wanted to just take a little bit of time just to let you know that you are important and that I love you. And if nobody ever has said it to you, you're going to hear it from me today. You're beautiful, you're handsome, you're divine. This is Antoinette Marie.